Hello, sword dude and dudettes. Boy, am I lucky. I have a sword collection that has been sent my way. And this is real cool. We're going to do sword unboxing because I have more than one sword in here. And these are really fancy. They are from a custom smith, Eric Estlund, who does really awesome work. And he was very kind enough to send several swords for review. So I'm going to open them up and we're going to do first impressions right here so everyone can get an idea of what I think of them. And obviously, we're going to take the time to go over each of these swords in kind in their own individual video, but I generally know what they are, and I wanted the chance for you guys to have first impressions right off the bat. I need to get some scissors so that we can open everything up, because everything is very nicely packed together. So, initially, we just have a scabbard here. Let's see if I can just make one or two snips and it'll come right off. I think it will. Snip, snip. There we go. All right. Who can identify what this is? So this is a two-piece set that is very lovely done. So we have a buy knife here, which I'll pull out in a second, and the completed knife. And don't worry, I'll take close-ups at the very end of the video. We'll get close-ups of everything, so fear not for those who want to look up close. So I'm going to pull this out. It is snugly in there. Oh yeah. Oh, look at how beautiful this blade is, and it is just so lovely in the hand. So most of you who watch this channel will guess that this is a messer. This is not a German messer, however. I happen to know that this is based on a Slovenian example. And wow, this just feels so nice in the hand. Oh my goodness. Oh, that just feels great in the hand, and it looks spectacular also. Oh man. The lines are so good, the proportions are great, and I know he did the research on it so well, but this is just a very handsome sword for its size. I can't see, it does have a little bit of a false edge going on the back. The lines are so clean, and I just cannot, the camera is never going to be able to tell what the sensation is like in the hand. But for the combination between the weight that it has, because it almost has a sword's weight compared to some messers are very, very light in the hand, and how comfortable it feels resting against the palm there, both if I decide to choke down and go all the way to the pommel on the pinky, or if I choke up and slide everything up into the guard and against the noggle. Either way, it just feels like buttery smooth in the hand. And, a lot of messer are kind of like peasant weapons. They're just like one-off, just run them through, knock them out real fast. This is something that you're spending a little bit more money on. And I'll say right off the bat, all of these swords I'm reviewing are going to be, this is, of course, coming from an individual smith. So if not custom work, this is still from a bespoke smith. And all of these swords are among the most expensive swords that I have had the chance to review. So you'll have the opportunity to buy anything that you see here. You can go to Eric's website and pick anything up. They'll each get their own individual review video, but we're way out of the realm of budget swords at this point. Just real fast, I want to take a look at the buy knife. Hang on. Need to make sure that I have some space. And I do not specialize in knives, but this is a really handsome little functional knife because it's got all this thickness here at the spine. And then it's got the back, the clip point there. Again, I don't even know knife terminology, but to me, it's got a false edge going here to be able to actually use it to gouge into things. And all of the embellishments going on there bolster that's on it, the way that the antler scales have been put on it. It just complements. Here, I'll put down the scabbard for a second and hold them both up for comparison's sake. Oh, can I keep? Do I just have to send back a big pile of money? And I haven't even gotten to the rest of the kit yet. All right. So one messer that I'm already falling in love with. And the scabbard itself is quite lovely. I can see all of the attention that's gone into. It's just a simple black color. It might be very dark brown. It's hard for me to tell based on the lighting that I have here. But the amount of detail that he's put into the scroll work in the scabbard with the floral motif is really, really well done. And I, of course, love it when they can put these companion knives into the same scabbard, and the way he's executed it is really nice, really great work. And again, so all of these swords that we're looking at today are going to be between $2,000 and $3,000. And for custom pieces, oftentimes you might only get the one sword for $2,000 or $3,000. And he's not only providing that, he's also providing a scabbard, and in many cases, a really nice scabbard for that amount. And it's very oftentimes you're paying almost as much for the scabbard as for the sword. So you're getting a lot for it. And I didn't even see the brass pins that he's put in. Oh my goodness, the brass pins, guys. The designs on these brass pins. Oh, they're gorgeous. Wow, this is really pretty. Can't keep on talking about that one forever. Now, I'm going to skip the middle one and go on to the big one, because I know what the middle one is, and I'm going to get lost in it. So the big one, check this out. It's been a while since we've had a longsword on the channel. So those of you who are really, really astute may actually have seen this on Philip Martin's channel, on Akidoka's channel. This is a longsword. He, of course, does awesome cutting, and he has cut with this sword to the best of my knowledge. So it's got a really nice motif here. Hopefully you can see it right now. If not, you'll see it at the end of the video. But we have a rabbit and some additional scroll work here. I believe that this is called the Fang of Carnabog. How many of you are old enough to know the reference of Carnabog? And we have this lovely grip wrap and this great chamfered wheel pommel here. Love how the cross is done with its turned ends. It's pretty even. There's a little bit of asymmetry going on here, but again, this is where when you have something that's handmade, you want to see that. And again, we're not looking at. I was just listening to Matt Jensen talk, and he talked about the difference between what you get, for instance, in Nihonto aesthetic compared to European aesthetic. And on a European sword, if you get that kind of machine level of precision, it will look wrong. And so the difference between precision and accuracy, I want to see things precise, so everything that is done deliberately, but not necessarily accurately, in order for it to look correct for this type of medieval aesthetic. And that's what I'm seeing here. Like, everything is done purposefully and everything is done very cleanly, even if I can tell that it might be very slightly more tucked in on this side than on that side, but it's definitely looks good to my eyes. And check this blade out. So this is either like an Oakshot type 15A or a big, like you see in the Alexandria Arsenal, a type 18C style blade with really good lines going down it. The edge looks pretty even. I'll have to take some time to make sure that the edge is in good shape. Again, I do know that this has been used before. but it's very handsome, even for its length. And I'd have to go back and check it out right now. To me, it looks like it's maybe 85, 90 centimeters. We'll see how accurate my eyeballs are. But it handles in one hand very easily, right at the riser. And then if I put it in two hands, I have to be careful in here. Can you catch that on camera? My mic has dampeners on it, so we probably can't hear it, but it's got a nice, beautiful sound that goes all the way through. Let's see how it wobbles. Ah, yeah. It's got a reasonably stiff blade. It's not super. I was expecting actually to have more flex. I can't tell exactly how wide it is because of the diamond cross section. It looks like he flattened out the diamond just a little bit there, but I'm going to guess that it's starting off at about 8 millimeters, maybe a little bit less. And then it keeps a bit of it, so it's probably getting down to about 3.5, maybe a little less than that, maybe about 2 down there. So it gets pretty thin, and this should have no problem cutting through targets. So this is going to be a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've had one of these. To me, it's more of like a bastard sword size, just based on, again, I have kind of big hands. So you can fit 2 hands there, but to me, there's no problem turning this into a one-handed sword if you're riding, or if you have a shield, or if you have to do something else with your other hand. You can easily one-hand this, and then when you need to, bring your second hand on to deliver a heavy strike. And just like with the Messer, the work on the scabbard is just really, really beautiful. Lovely stuff. The shape is perfectly consistent with what you find in period. And nice. It shows a little signs of having been used before. There's some minor patina going on, some little minor spotting over here. Oh, look at this on the back. There's definitely some spotting over here. So that'll come out real easily. That's 5 minutes worth of sanding. Like how the wrap is done. The wrap feels really, really nice in the hand all the way along. There's a little itty bitty seam over here. Can feel a little bit of it, but not very much. But just the way that the cord wrapped leather feels in the hand is really nice. It gives you a really great grip, and again, the wheel pommel and the cross are all very smooth to the touch, so that if you're using it and you're bumping up against it, you don't ever feel it abrading or causing a hot spot or anything like that. Beautiful sword. All right. I've held my horses as long as possible. Who wants to guess what this last one is? Can anyone guess? Take a look at this end. Does that give you guys any clue? Let's see if I can get it out. I have to get my scissors here. All right. Here comes the baby. All right, what is it? What is this? So, it's been a while since I've had a falchion, and this is a proper falchion. This is a beautiful Italian example. So this is a late period falchion. Do we call it a storta? Maybe we call it a storta, but man, look at how beautiful this is. This is one of the swords that I helped him do the dynamics calculations for. This is kind of got a maroon color leather work on it. The shape is a little bit rised off of the tip. To me, it looks like it could come down a little bit, and the stitching on the back is perhaps standing a little bit proud, but the rest of it looks nice. So this is just kind of a plain leather scabbard compared to the other ones that have all of the scroll work on it. It doesn't look like it's suffered any any banging around in transport or the like. So it's just a very pretty, handsome color with simple lines going down it, and just real nice. The grip, the hilt is absolutely gorgeous. These Italian designs look like something out of almost like a science fiction movie. The way that as you start going into the late 15th century and into the 16th century, you start adding these finger rings and the knuckle bow to complement just your standard quillons. You have these scent stopper pommels, these complex grip elements where you're adding in additional, either wraps or I don't even know how you would describe these bars. It looks like he's put ray skin on it. I'd have to ask. I'll have to double check to see if this is blackened stingray or shark skin that he's using on the grip, which certainly would have been available. The ferrule is on each end, done really nicely. The lines here are all really fun and really cool. I feel one tiny little edge is catching me on the back of this pommel, so that just needs to be rubbed out. That's the first edge that I have felt on any of his designs at all. He's really good about smoothing over everything. And again, this is something where I just touch it with a piece of sandpaper, and in 2 seconds it'll be taken care of. And of course, I'm going to pull it out. Oh man, I love his maker's marks too. He's got his little flower here in the circle. And this thing is really pretty. So look at the length of that. It's got both a clip point and a false edge that continues to over here or so. And it's definitely balanced like a sword, not like a messer. Oh, and that is really nice. And this thing wants to do some cutting for sure. It's got a lot. It's not a super duper long sword. I'm trying to think of how long it is. This is going to be 75, 80 centimeters in length. But even though it's not super thick, we're talking about maybe 5.5 millimeters that's starting at, just because of the breadth of it. It's going to have a lot of ability to deliver, then redirect, and then deliver, and then give point. Wow, this is just art on on display here. The combination of the double fullering, the style of the hilt, the profile that it cuts, everything about it is just beautiful, and I cannot get enough. So, in case anybody wanted to know what to buy me for Christmas, I am accepting donations. So this is just a quick preview. Again, each of these swords will get their own full review, full video discussion with dynamics, and hopefully at least a little bit of test cutting. These are really nice swords. They're generously on loan to me from Eric, and they will be available for purchase for anyone who's interested in purchasing them. So obviously I don't want to damage any products that he's planning on being able to sell. But I can't pass up both showcasing what they can do and sharing with everyone my joy at being able to handle some really spectacular pieces by a really good smith and just an all-around knowledgeable and cool sword friend in Eric. So thank you so much, Eric from Winter Cutlery, who is lending these out to the channel. We'll be looking for more on both these examples and discussions with Winter Cutlery going forward in the future. Until next time, guys, take care. Let's take a look at some close-up shots.